Hello everyone, I'm Jack and I'm back. First off, it's hot in this shop, so this is going to be quick. I'll show you what I got. All right, so I found out it is not the wiring that was the issue. I tried all kinds of different wiring combinations. No matter which wires I jumped, it didn't make any difference in the motor. And the reason why is because the motor was physically locked up. What happened is this motor mounted up on top of here. That's a vertical surface. The motor was sitting like this. If there was any precipitation when this thing was out in the weather, it got down in there and that top bearing was literally locked up. So I had to disassemble the motor, found out what the issue was, worked it back and forth with some vice grips, and I used a rag on there so I wouldn't damage the shaft, and eventually got it freed up. Sprayed it with Kroil oil. It's around here somewhere. I don't know where. Oh, there it is, over there. And now it does, in fact, work. But I had to take this apart to figure out what was going on, or I thought I did. Come to find out I didn't. But I didn't know how to get that motor off of here. So what happens is that motor goes into that shaft, or that shaft goes in this hole, and you can see there's a keyway. A couple of things. One, you can see this thing was not planned out ahead of time, and that's based on the fact that we have a lot of holes on this thing like this, where the hole is right at the edge of some edge. If you had planned this out, you would not drill holes that close to a step. It would be moved in like, oh, something like that. So you can tell that this was kind of build it as he went, but again, it seems to work. All right, so this thing right here is a big gear reduction unit. So if you look, when I turn this, rotate this, you can see that there are quite a few rotations of this for not a whole lot of movement in this. The other thing is, okay, it does clear. Doesn't look like it would clear, but it does clear. All right, so this thing can rotate 360 degrees, and that's what this motor drives. This one is the one, it has 4 wires, but they weren't the same color as the other ones, and so I was confused because I've been going by color up until now, assuming things were standardized. Come to find out in my research, things are not standardized between these motors, even though some claim they are. Obviously they're not, otherwise that wouldn't be the case. Plus the motor in the back is a 6-wire motor. It controls the spindle rotation, and it has 6 wires. Only 4 of them were used. Luckily they labeled the colors, but it took me a while to go, okay, if this is this color, because it changes colors. So it told me the colors here, and then I had to go trace it through to where the connectors were and see where the colors changed, and then go over to there and wire everything up. So right now what I did was I disconnected all of the motors except for, oh, and then I took the wiring from the X and the Z. I used the Z initially for this one. The reason I used the Z is because it doesn't move a lot. So I thought, well, I don't want this thing going around in a whole bunch of circles and causing issues because these wires are not correctly routed. So I'll use the Z. And then X ended up, because I kept switching everything around. Actually, it's Y now. I tried X, couldn't get it to work, tried Y, had Y hooked up to this and the Y motor. And then I decided, and it still didn't work. So then I thought, I'm just going to wire this all by itself as if it is a Y motor. And through that exercise, I found out that it isn't the wiring at all. It was the motor itself that was locked up. All right, so this motor goes on top. It has a flat on the shaft. I wish I wouldn't have taken this apart, but I wouldn't have discovered what was wrong if I hadn't. All right, so you can see there's a flat on the shaft right there. There is a keyway right there. Well, there's no keyway here. So what they did, again, these are some weird things I'm finding, is they apparently made this piece right here that changes that keyway into a flat. And so this slides inside of there. I have to be real careful because if I drop it, there's no opening. Oh, there is. Oh, there's not a direct opening. Even though there's an opening down there, it does not go straight through. If I could find my screwdriver. Yeah, see? So if I drop that down in there, I'm gonna lose it. So I gotta figure out a way to make sure I don't drop that down. Gotta put that in there to create the flat. Then I've gotta put the motor in there without the thing coming apart. Challenge for me to come up. But before I do that, let me show you what I do have. Oh, and I do have this stepper motor driver. I've got to figure out if this stepper motor driver will drive either or both of these stepper motors. I have to replace. There is no driver in the box. It's missing. The two are missing. So I'm wondering, this looks like a lightweight driver to me, but I can't tell. I mean, I don't know if size matters or not, but this one's significantly smaller than the ones that are in the box, and it was significantly cheaper. So I don't know what that means, but anyway, if anyone can help me, there is a chart right there that says something about, let me lift it up so I can see it. It says current in amps, PK current, and then it shows you what the switches should be based on, I don't know. So if anyone can tell me what the difference is between current and PK current, and whether this will drive these two motors that I have. For those that haven't been keeping up, this motor, here's the designation for this motor. There we go. Flip it around. Right side up. OE motor. There we go. So if that means anything to you, I did look it up, but again, this is not my area of expertise or even any sort of familiarity. And then this motor, let me climb over here. There's a label around here somewhere. No, there it is. All right, so there is this motor. And again, 24 volt DC, 3 amp. So you tell me, will that driver drive this motor? I think it will, but if anyone can verify or tell me that it doesn't, that's fine. I need to know. And then the same way with this other one, I don't know what the specs are on that motor. I will look it up, but if somebody can tell me, that would be great. Okay, now that we've got all of that out of the way, I have everything hooked up. Actually, those hooked up. And let me climb down. All right, and thanks for telling me that if you hit the tab button, the jog mode comes up and goes away. So let's see, I said it was the Y does one and the Z does another. I don't remember which is which. And unfortunately, I put the fan in the way. Oh, and that's not a good place for that motor because that spindle's going to rotate. So let me set the motor back down on the ground and move this fan out of the way. I would have the fan running right now, but it makes a lot of noise.